I'm Andrew Bashford, and so is he. And I'm going to talk about choosing a minor, because that's been an important part in my undergraduate career. I'm an English language major, and so I've learned a lot about sentences and grammar and vowels and what we do with our mouths when we say words, and about Noam Chomsky too. And I've gained a lot of great understanding and fascinating facts from my major. But sometimes I feel like it's just information, and so people, I'm sure, anywhere in the humanities, we're used to hearing the question, so what do you want to do with that? And what do I want to do with grammar and verbs? Sometimes it sounds like the question is really, what can you even do with that? And I think, of no fault of their own, sometimes our majors don't really tell us what it is that we want to do or what we can do, but they equip us with a lot of information. And so I sort of stumbled into a minor in writing and rhetoric, just in fulfilling my general education requirements. And I found that a minor isn't just a way to add more classes and do more work, but to gain more direction in the things that we're doing. I was almost instantly attracted to rhetoric when I found it because, as Rhetoric says, it's explicitly pragmatic. It's not just about gaining more information and knowledge, which is what my major had equipped me with, but rather it helped me to think about things I could do. And that was helpful in school. Like, I had an assignment to make sense of the book of Revelation, and just looking at it, it looks like a jumbled mess. And it's hard even to know where to start. But using the things that I learned in my rhetoric courses, I was able to start analyzing the arguments and patterns and seeing that maybe it's not such a jumbled mess after all. And to start finding similarities in the way that the narrative of the book was structured. And looking at those patterns, I could see that there was actually regularity to them. And that this was something that my minor helped me to do. I don't know that I could have looked at a text and made as much sense of it without the help that my minor gave me. And in the end, looking at the book of Revelation, I could see that it's 3 discrete episodes, all built out of 3 parts, and that it suggests that there's great order in something that might look chaotic. That's a message from the book that I might not have gotten otherwise. But, of course, I don't want to talk about minors just so that we can do better in our classes. I think one of the things that my minor has helped me to do is to transition the knowledge that I've gained in my major through the direction that my minor has given into new communities and into new contexts. And that quote is rhetorical, which means that you don't have to read it. So I had the opportunity to take something that I'd written in school and to present it at a talent show. So I took it from the classroom to the stage, from the academy to the real world, I guess. And so I had to think, how do I take something that's written down and make it something that I can speak, something that I can present to people? And I was thinking about audience and context, and how do you change and modify your argument or your story or your essay when you're presenting it to a different group of people. And so I read it aloud to myself, I performed it, I practiced it, and was able to present that piece in a new context. And I don't think that's just something for talent shows, but that could be our transition from the academy to a career or to volunteer work. Finally, I think that a minor has not only given me new skills and new places to interact, but it's given me new opportunities to do good work. I've been able to transition what I know about language and what I know about understanding arguments and understanding how to communicate with people to something that's personally important to me through social media and blogs and Twitter to share things that are important, including faith. I had the opportunity to talk to a man recently, I don't know him, through social media about the place that art and faith and non-rational things have in a very empirical and scientific world. And that's not something I think that I could have done nearly as successfully without the skills and the understanding that I gained through having a minor. And so again, I don't think that adding a minor is just about adding more classes. It's about adding the opportunity to participate with new ideas in new contexts and have opportunities to influence and interact with new people in new ways. And I think that's an exciting and empowering thing. Finally, I think that if we're like piping bags, our major fills us with a lot of good frosting. And it doesn't maybe tell us exactly what to do with our frosting. And so our minor is like the tip on the piping bag. It sort of helps us to be able to apply what we know in judicious and artistic and delicious ways. Those piping tips can be different. They could be round, they could be shaped like stars. It doesn't really matter what minor we have as long as we're looking towards applying that knowledge in useful and productive ways. Thanks.